We all struggle with procrastination from time to time. And if you don't, then quite frankly, you're not a human being. And if you struggle with procrastination, or even with helping other people overcome procrastination, then in this video, I've got just the thing for you. It's the Behaviour model by Fogg. I'm a huge fan of his work, and this model in particular. And I'm going to show you how we can use this model to beat procrastination. By the way, I'm Jamie, and on my channel I talk about tips, tools, and ideas for behavior change, learning, and improving performance. If this is a topic you're interested in, then please check out my other videos after this one. Let's start with a typical example. This is Donald, and he needs to lose weight. He set a goal of running every morning this week, but so far he's failed to run every single morning of this week. If we use the behavior model from Fogg, we can analyze both what happened and what we can do to encourage him to run more often. Now, the thing I love about this model is that it's so specific because it focuses on the precise moment of action. So the first place we want to start is by asking, what is the exact moment of action? Now, for Donald, he decided that he was going to run every morning just after he'd woken up at about 7 o'clock in the morning. So his precise moment of action is 7 a.m. So the first question is, at that particular moment in time, what's his motivation like? Well, for Donald, he's just woken up, he's pretty groggy, it's the middle of winter, so it's very cold outside. His motivation level is gonna be quite low at this particular moment in time. The next question to ask is, does Donald have enough resources at that particular time to take action? Now, when we say resources, I mean things like time, like physical energy, maybe habits, sometimes technology, sometimes particular environments, information, processes, whatever. Whatever resources we need to take action. The question is, do we have enough of those resources? For Donald, his resources are pretty low as well. He's quite unfit at the moment, so he doesn't have much energy. He needs to be out of the door to get to work at about 8 a.m., so he doesn't have a lot of time to run. And he's not in the habit of running either, so he does not have many resources at all for this particular action. In order to take action, our balance of motivation and resources needs to come above the action line at that particular moment. And so in order to increase the chances of getting someone or ourselves to take action, we need to increase the motivation or increase the resources, or both at the same time. Let's start with motivation. Now, this is another thing I love about this model because it reminds us that motivation is not fixed. It fluctuates throughout the day. This is why so many people procrastinate until the last minute. It's because only in that last moment do they have such a high sense of urgency that it pushes their motivation right up. And when it comes to running, Donald is going to have different levels of motivation in the morning, at lunchtime, in the evening, and other times during the day and week. So a good first question to ask Donald is, at what time would you be most motivated to do this? Donald reflects a bit and he concludes that lunchtime would be when he has the most motivation to go running. But unfortunately, he's at work, he'll be at the office, it's not a very convenient time. So the next question we can ask Donald about motivation is there another way to achieve the same goal that you have more motivation to do? Donald reflects a bit and he realizes his goal is not to go running, his goal is to lose weight. And after looking around for other ways of losing weight, he realizes that he could actually just walk more throughout the day. If he does that, then that's going to have an impact on his weight, and it might even be the same impact as running just for 20 minutes in the morning. And another question about motivation that we can finally ask Donald is, what would increase your motivation for doing this? So for Donald, maybe joining a running club in his local park could increase his motivation. Maybe listening to an audiobook whilst he's running, or listening to his favorite music could also increase his motivation. So those are 3 questions we can use to analyze motivation. Now let's look at resources. We can ask similar questions to the ones we just asked for motivation. For example, what would be the easiest time to do this? Is there an easier way of achieving this goal? And what would make it easier to do? Donald reflects a bit more and he comes up with a few more ideas. He could have a cup of coffee first thing in the morning to get his energy levels straight up. He could even buy a treadmill and put it in his bedroom and use that instead of going to the park. And one other thing he could do is he could watch Netflix on his iPad whilst running on his treadmill. One final killer question to ask is, what are the consequences of not taking action? Sometimes we think it's a good idea to do something, but procrastination is our subconscious's way of telling us that we don't have to do this. Maybe you've tried a habit of running every day as well and realized that you're in good shape already. You don't need to run anymore. So we could ask the same question to Donald. What are the consequences of not taking action here? Donald reflects a bit and he realizes that the consequences are he'd still be overweight. And so he realizes that, he needs to take action. So I hope that was useful, and please check out BJ Fogg's website for even more information about this model. And if you want a summary of these coaching questions that I just went through in this video, then you can download from this link right here. If you have any questions, please feel free to get in touch with me. I look forward to seeing you next time.